Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, I wanted to share what I'm planning on not buying in 2022. I have another video coming up where I'm gonna really go more in depth and share my goals and plans for my wardrobe, but this video is kind of just like a sneak peek for that. I want to be even more intentional with my shopping this year, and so for that reason, I really want to hold myself accountable to this list. So the first item is anything that is super trendy or really in style at the moment. So I'm slowly realizing on my style journey that I really am anti-trend, and so it's really important for my clothes to be really unique to me and to my style. And I also really like my style to be kind of a little bit timeless, where it can't be outdated by the next season, and a lot of trendy items kind of come and go really quickly, and then if you try to wear them again, people are like, that's over already. Which of course doesn't matter if that is your style, but that's something again that I don't like about trendy items. So for this year, I'm really gonna try to stick to that and not buy anything that's too trendy and just kind of stick to the styles that I know I love already. Number 2 is any clothing that is not on my wish list. So I know that this one will be a little bit tricky because if you watched my last video, I did have a few impulse purchases last year that worked out and some didn't work out, so it was kind of a mixed bag there. But this year I really want to challenge myself to make a really good wish list at the beginning of the year and then try to stick to it throughout the year. So I know there's items that I want to add eventually to my wardrobe, so I kind of map it out over the course of the year and decide which items I'm gonna add and in which season. And so I think that will really help me to be excited to make those purchases this year and not get too tempted by anything else random that I see. Again, I think this one will also be a little hard to stick to, but I did share that I bought 3 pairs of jeans last year and it was just too much, and some of them didn't work out, but I was like on this hunt for a perfect pair, so I kept shopping and browsing and it was really overwhelming, honestly. So I think I'm actually gonna do a little declutter of my closet soon and see if there are some jeans that I can let go of, but my goal for this year is to try to not add any jeans because overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the jeans that I do have, but I will add like one little exception to that rule, and that's if I end up reselling a lot of my other jeans, then I will allow myself to maybe replace one if it's really necessary. Number 4 is fast fashion. So I know for a lot of people this is not really an option still because sustainable and ethical fashion is really expensive. And for my wardrobe, I kind of have a balance of buying a lot of secondhand items, buying a few items from a more expensive, sustainable store, and then I still buy a handful of fast fashion items because sometimes I can't find something in any of those other categories, so I kind of let myself do that a little bit to supplement my wardrobe if I need to. Here on my channel, I kind of talk a lot about slow fashion, which is the idea that you can kind of still buy from wherever you're able to buy from, but you just kind of change your mindset on clothing and on fashion, and you just slow down your consumption. So I wouldn't say like never buy from fast fashion. That makes you a horrible person. That's not something you'll ever hear on this channel, but I think it's still important to really shop in a thoughtful and slow and considerate way so that we're not wasting all the resources and that we're not hurting the people that are making our clothing. But if you actually don't know what fast fashion is, I do have a super old video that I'll link in the description if you want to watch it, but let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make an updated version of that and I can talk about that more. So anyways, one of the goals that I'm gonna have for myself this year is to try not buying anything from a fast fashion store and really find everything that I need either secondhand or from a store that's really trying to be more sustainable and making strides in that direction. So last year I actually stopped buying any polyester new, which was a really great decision because I just really hate that fabric. It makes me feel hot and sweaty and it just kind of clings to my body in a really horrible way. So I was really glad that I stuck to that last year, but I did still buy a few things that had polyester mixed in secondhand. But in those items that I did buy, I could still tell that there is polyester in there. I'm okay with like a really small mix because sometimes that's needed to make a garment kind of last and retain its shape. But this year, I'm gonna try to make sure any items I buy secondhand don't have a really big percentage of polyester in them. So I learned over the last year that I really prefer to have a lighter sweater, kind of like this one that I'm wearing right now, where it's still made of wool, but it's knit in like a really fine knit, and it still keeps me really warm, but it doesn't have like that really bulky feeling that I get from a few of my more bulky sweaters. And it's kind of a sad realization to come to, because about 2 years ago I bought myself a good handful of secondhand sweaters to wear at home, and I really did love them for a year, but about 3 of them are really bulky and thick, so I'm considering decluttering them, and I think I'll be posting them on my Poshmark, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested. But yeah, that's a little bit sad that they only lasted about a year or 2 in my wardrobe, but you live and you learn, so it's all kind of part of the process. And I do feel good that I at least bought them secondhand, and I'll try to resell them so that they can still keep living their life. So since I've been building my wardrobe for a few years now, I've already built a really good base collection of basic items that are really versatile, and I can use them to build lots of different outfits with. So at this point in my wardrobe, I don't think I need to add any more of those basic pieces. So this year my goal for my wardrobe is going to be to add more of those statement and unique pieces that are really going to make my wardrobe really unique to me, and I'm really excited to find those items and add them to my wardrobe. And again, my one exception is going to be if I need to replace an item that is worn out or lost or ruined, so I will let myself buy a really basic item if I need to do that. And this is actually a really great place to be at, so I really encourage you guys to keep striving and keep building your wardrobe, because the place where I'm at right now, it was a long journey, but it's so worth it. And I know I do say that a lot in my videos, but it really is true. So one thing I didn't realize as I was building my wardrobe over the years is that I was adding a lot of black items, and I think that had to do with the fact that they were like a neutral and a minimal color, so I thought, yeah, I need to have that in my wardrobe. I do love to have a little bit of black in my wardrobe, but lately I've noticed that it's kind of a lot, and it kind of feels like it drains me, and at the same time it's like too bold and stands out too much. I don't know, it's a really weird mix, but yeah, I really don't feel my best, especially if I'm wearing like head to toe black. That's like way too much for me. So I'm gonna try to really stick to not adding any more black to my wardrobe this year, because again, I already built up a nice base with like basic items and I don't need any more. And instead, the colors that I'm gonna focus on this year is adding a little bit more of that pale pink and a different shades of green, because I really learned that I like those colors, and I'm ready to like add a little bit more of them to my wardrobe. And if you're not sure what colors you like to wear and you want to learn more about how to build a color palette for your wardrobe, you can watch this video here if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!